I've been trying to understand luck for years. Not because I am superstitious, not because I have a lucky pair of socks or I have some sort of a ritual before I upload my videos. I've been trying to understand luck because I need to know when something works out, is it me or was it something else? When something fails, was I just not good enough or did I just get unlucky? And the reason I think that question haunts me is the same reason it might bother you a little bit. Because if success mostly was just luck, then effort is a lie. And if effort is a lie, then what's the point? But if success is not luck and it's purely earned, then every person who didn't make it just deserved not to. And every failure then just becomes personal, and every person you see struggling out there, they just didn't work hard enough. And I feel like neither of those answers feel right. And then I heard this phrase, one that you just hear everywhere on social media, motivational videos, and in the locker room: 99% faith, 1% luck. And I realized I don't think most people really know or understand what those words are actually saying. I don't think nor understood what they were saying either, because if you can't define luck, and most of us can't, then you definitely can't define that 1%. So let's actually try. Not do you believe in luck, not are you lucky or do you consider yourself lucky. Let's sit with this for a second. What is luck? Well, let's start with the most obvious one. You buy a lottery ticket, you win. This is luck. Unearned probability in motion kind of luck. You didn't practice buying a lottery ticket. There was no preparation, no skill involved, just math and a chance. And you happen to be the one. That's the 1%. But here's where it gets interesting. Almost nobody who says 99% faith and 1% luck ever really talks about lottery tickets. They're talking about careers, relationships, art, the things that actually matter. And in those things, luck doesn't look like a lottery ticket. It looks like a door opening, a person saying yes, a moment where the work you've been doing in complete darkness suddenly has a spotlight for it. Tony Hawk, 1999. He'd been trying to land a 900 2.5 rotations for 13 years. 13 years of failing, broken ribs, concussions. He'd fallen thousands of times. And in front of a live X Games crowd, with the clock running down, he dropped in one more time. And there he lands it. And someone watching at home, some kid or some old man on a couch who'd never stood on a skateboard, said the word lucky. 13 years of failing and a stranger calls it luck. That kind of luck, the kind that actually matters, isn't random, it's an intersection. Luck is the moment preparation meets time. So if luck is preparation meets timing, then what is faith? Here's the part where I think most people get it wrong. Faith isn't just the belief in a positive outcome. I need you to hear that because I feel like we have misused that word a lot. Have faith means believe it'll work out. That's not faith, that's actually optimism. Faith is and should be something harder. Faith is acting as if the 1% will arrive without any evidence that it will. Faith is Tony Hawk getting up after his 9,000th fall, not because he knows the 900 is coming today, but because he refuses to stop being ready for when it actually does arrive. Faith is the artist who has been posting for 3 years with only 200 views and makes the next video anyway. Not because she has a promise, but because she's decided that if the door ever opens, she'll be the one standing in front of it. Here's the part that messes with people. 99% and the 1% aren't separate. They feed each other. The more faith you have, the more prepared, the more reps, the more you show up, the more surface area you create for luck to land. Most people never get lucky. Not because the door never opened, but because they gave up in a hallway. They stopped showing up for themselves, they stopped preparing, and when the door finally was open, they weren't there. You can't control if or when the door opens up. That's the 1%. But you can control whether you are in the hallway, and that's the 99%. And here's the twist. The more you show up, the more lucky you appear to be. Not because luck is on your side, but because you have made it impossible to miss when randomness strikes. People call Tony Hawk lucky for performing what he did, but the 900 didn't happen to him, it happened through him. 13 years of faith made him undeniable when the moment arrived. But there's a reason we say that they got lucky, and it's not about accuracy, it's more so about protection. I found this quote on a random Reddit thread which said that, believing in a system is fair. It protects people from the terror of luck. If success is mostly luck, then so is failure. And if failure is mostly luck, there's not much you can do about it. That's the wound. Calling someone lucky is a way of dismissing them without dismissing yourself. If their success is luck, then my lack of success isn't my fault. If they just got a break, then I don't have to ask myself why I was not in the hallway. I don't have to confront the possibility that maybe I just stopped showing up. And on the flip side, successful people downplay luck for the same reason, just reversed. Because if you admitted how much was out of your control, then if you really sat with the randomness, you'd have to face something that was a little bit annoying, and that is that things could have gone differently. The same work, the same faith, the same preparation, and a completely different outcome. And that's the paradox of it all. We need luck to be small, the 1% to keep going, but we also need luck to be real, to forgive ourselves when the door doesn't open. That's why the phrase 99% faith, 1% luck exists. The 99% gives you agency, while the 1% gives you the leniency and the mercy that you deserve. Faith isn't a guarantee, it's a wager. It's a bet that you're betting yourself on yourself. You're betting your time, your energy, your years on a door that might never open. And you make that bet not because the odds are good, but because the alternative is standing in an empty room, nowhere near the door, waiting for a miracle to happen. The 1% is luck, and the 99% is making sure you're in the position for when it arrives. So if luck is real but small, if faith is big but unguaranteed, what do you actually do with this? The first one is to stop waiting to feel ready. Faith isn't a feeling. You don't wake up one day faithful and then you act your way into faith. Every time you show up without evidence, that matters. That's the deposit. That's faith becoming real. The second one is widening your surface area. That is the practical part. Every video you make is a door that might open. Every skill you build is a hallway you're in. Every relationship you nurture is a room where luck might find you. You don't need one big break. You need so many points of contact with possibility that luck has nowhere else to land. Third one, hold the 1% tightly. And that's the hardest one. You have to do the work like it's all on you, and then release the outcome like it's not. Because it's not. The 1% is real. And pretending that it isn't will either make you arrogant when things go well, or it will make you shattered and crushed when things don't go your way. So 99% of faith and 1% luck. It's not a formula for success. It's the posture towards life. Is something I've understood. Faith is the decision to stay in the hallway. Luck is the door opening it. You can't really open the door yourself, but you can refuse to leave. And if you stay long enough, show up enough times, prepare enough for a moment that might never come, you might just be standing there when it does. Or you might not. That's the 1% of it all.